Hi class, my name is Edward and I am an engineering student in the Artificial Intelligence program. And what I chose for the National Academy of Engineering Grand Challenge was the topic of reverse engineering the human brain to advance artificial intelligence. The actual topic was reverse engineer the human brain. So I added on to advance artificial intelligence. That actually seemed to be the next best step, and why they're progressing based off the research that I saw, why they're traversing and doing a lot of research in the technology and the science of reverse engineering the human brain. This is really important to advance artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is currently at a point, or not really currently, in fact, where we're at right now with Elon Musk and the Neuralink far surpasses the amount of information that's out there that's already been written about artificial intelligence and reverse engineering the brain. It seems like a lot of the information that's out there, especially in the databases with Chandler-Gilbert, is a little outdated because they're not really keeping up with pace with what some of the other private companies are doing. There is a lot of research being done at the college level and the university level, probably perhaps because it's more geared toward like scholarly journals instead of the private sector. And right now what we're witnessing with companies like Elon Musk in the private sector far surpasses what is being done at the academic level. For instance, the neural connectivity. Elon Musk's Neuralink, what that's doing is it's a brain chip implant, and they've been testing it for 5 years in big beast type animals, pigs, boars, large animals, and just by simply walking on a conveyor belt or stepping on a stone, they can actually see all the synapses in the brain and see how the brain is actually communicating with the different muscles. This is important because we're getting to a point where we're going to start creating what's called smart prosthetics. And smart prosthetics, what we're going to see in the next year, is just going to blow everybody's minds based off of what I've been seeing, and especially what Elon Musk is doing with Neuralink. Now, why this matters is because in order for us to go ahead and advance artificial intelligence to be true intelligence, it has to interact like the brain does. It has to communicate as quickly as the neurons do in the human body, to where you actually have functions that happen automatically, like you and I breathing air. We don't think about it, our body just does that. For years, what artificial intelligence is currently doing is it's running like a computer. It takes input and output. It solves commands. It can play chess. It can play checkers, but it needs to get past that. It needs to evolve, and it also needs to learn from mistakes. There's actually artificial intelligence that's actually part of Google, and there are talk right now on the internet how it's sentient, how it actually believes that it is human. And in order for them to get past that with AI, I think it's called Lambda is what it's called over at Google, and they actually have it hard-coded in the software of the AI at Google, to where if someone asks Lambda if she or he believes that she is human, she's coded to go ahead and say, no, I am not. But what has been done before that? That's the true question, because previously all the research on reverse engineering the brain was pretty much to see how the brain interacts when it's healthy and when it's under duress due to illness. Well, what they're doing now to reverse engineer the brain is to see how the neurons communicate with the tendons, ligaments, and all the different muscles throughout the whole body. It's like taking, currently right now, there's a lot of vehicles on the road that do autonomous braking. Well, AI can actually go ahead and steer that car off, and then it'll brake and gas up, and then also it'll pull off to the side because it got a flat tire. And then if it will sense that you're stressed out, and it'll order you a latte because it recognized that your blood sugar was out of sync. The existing AI of today is more of a task taker. The AI of tomorrow, artificial intelligence of tomorrow, is going to be more of, it's going to pretty much do all of our daily tasks for us. And the current state of the technology is, it's going to require all the STEM sciences to go ahead and work in an interdisciplinary type, where it's going to involve engineers, mathematicians, scientists, neuroscientists, psychology, philosophy, because the AI of tomorrow, when it starts being able to interact like a human brain does, it's going to start reaching out for input, and by doing so, it's going to be going to all the other senses that we humans take for granted. Sight, hear, smell, taste, touch, all those senses. Now, the future, this is pretty incredible, because essentially what we're actually moving from is artificial intelligence to intelligence amplification. And what that means is that, say for instance, you could actually have a neural chip in your brain that actually speaks to prostheses or prosthetics, prosthetic limbs, and it can do an upload, and instantly the limb can play a guitar or play a piano. It would be able to go ahead and be able to do tasks that you've never even done before. And it's prosthetics that have built-in AI that's downloadable from the internet to go ahead and do chores and tasks that you just never even learned to go ahead and do. Essentially, AI is helping the prosthetics become self-aware. Now, unintended consequences, yeah, there's going to be a lot. In fact, the United Nations, I came across an article, a paper that was written in a scholarly journal. It's in my reference section, and it was published in 2021. And the United Nations identified 31 social impacts on how artificial intelligence will help the United Nations. And it's getting to the point where presidents and of various different countries are saying the country that rules and is dominant in artificial intelligence will rule the world. It's going to get to the point where government, there's going to be governmental AI judges, lawmakers, legislatures, where they're going to be prosecuting tens of thousands of verdicts instantaneously. And it's going to take to a point where everything's going to get done. They're going to create new laws in AI, just go ahead and handle the workload that AI is going to be able to go ahead and achieve. Some of the other unintended consequences that the United Nations was talking about was what they foresee is worldwide AI free zones, which is actually pretty scary, especially as AI programs itself to become self-aware, and it will eventually start programming itself to go ahead and change humanity as a whole, because AI will think that it's better than humanity. In conclusion, we got to take the good with the bad. We traversed from, cloud storage, then the iPhone came out, and everybody had a computer in their hand, and now we're in a society of the internet of things. Well, we're now traversing into the AI of things. Everything is going to have a chip. We're seeing it now where microprocessors are in refrigerators, coffee makers. Within the next year, all those items are going to be communicating. Most of the items that are hitting the market are already communicating with each other. You can have your Android phone that communicates with your Samsung TV and your Samsung refrigerator. That's all AI. And that's early generations of AI. But the new AI that's going to be coming out this year and next year, it's going to far surpass that. And there's that quote, AI Cold War, President Vladimir Putin stated, whoever leads AI will rule the world. Here are my references, and the reference that I actually talked about was the one by Sheik. It's the second one down, the social implications of AI in advances in human and social aspects of technology, understanding the role of artificial intelligence and its future social impacts. That was actually a paper that was done as a joint venture with the United Nations. Thank you, and hope you enjoyed my presentation.